One of the biggest skills in college football 25 is the ability to quick adjust on defense. Because not only do quick adjustments give you access to many crucial adjustments and features you need to use to help you get more stops, but they are also by far the fastest way to set up your defense in the game. So in today's video, I'm going to do a complete breakdown on how to do every quick adjustment in the game and the fastest way to do each one so you can start getting more stops and winning games now. With quick adjustments, it allows me to set up my entire defense, all my adjustments I want to do, while I stay clicked on to the player I want to use or control. So as soon as I break the huddle, I can click on the guy I want to use and then I can get right to it. So quick adjustments are essentially going to be broken down by 3 position groups, and I'm going to go over how each of them work. So we got our secondary quick adjustments, our linebacker quick adjustments, and then finally our defensive line quick adjustments. So we're going to start with the secondary quick adjustments, and guys, if you want more content like this, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop me a like, and comment on the video. So with secondary defensive quick adjustments, the way you access them is you immediately are going to hit your triangle or your Y button, depending upon your system. Once you do this, you'll see the coverage adjustments menu pop up. Now, you have some global adjustments and some individual adjustments. Let's start with global. The difference between global and individual is that global is going to affect everybody in the secondary versus your individual ones will only affect the desired individual secondary player. So with the global ones, you can see if you click, for instance, up on the left stick, it's going to back them up. See how it backs the DBs up? If you press down on the left stick, it will press them, okay? You can also shade them. So you can see like right here, I'm in a basic cover 3 defense, a cover 3 match, okay? You know, if I was to shade underneath, it will give me hard flats, and if I shade over the top, it would then give me cloud flats. Now, shading really only will affect your hook or flat zones. When you shade underneath, if you don't have zone drops on, those zones will play at about a 5-yard depth. If you shade over the top, it'll be more of like a 10-ish, maybe even getting close to 15-yard depth, but probably closer to 10 the majority of the time. Again, this is assuming you leave your zone drops on default and you don't actually set them. Now, you also can shade inside and outside by hitting left and to the right on the right stick. And by the way, this type of shading over the top, underneath, in and out also will apply to man coverage. And I made a video about that. If you want to check that out, have it on the channel, Secret to Play Elite Man Coverage. Okay, so those are your global defensive adjustments. You also can protect the sticks by hitting either L1 or LB. Essentially what that does is say it's 3rd and 20. If you press that, all of your zones would play at the first down marker, right? To basically prevent giving up a first down. So those are all the global adjustments we have. We also have some individual adjustments that will only affect the desired defender. So let's go ahead and look at those. There's essentially 2 different categories. So once we hit triangle Y, you'll then see we have the individual icon, which is X, and the quick adjust icon, which is triangle. I'm going to start with the individual menu. This is essentially going to allow you to individually press or back up specific corners. So like, let's say you're pressed, but you want to back up one corner but keep the rest of them pressed. Maybe there's one takeoff player on offense that you want to back up that corner so you don't get burned deep. What you would do is once you hit the button for the individual menu, you would hit the icon of the receiver that the defensive back you want to adjust is lined up over. So say that we got the receiver on the left, Williams. His icon is square. I want to back up that corner so I don't get beat. I'm going to hit square. Once you do that, you see you have individual shading options. You could press or you could back up. Now I'm already pressed, so I don't need to do that. I'm not really playing man coverage, so I'm not worried about shading left or right. I'm in zone. I want to back him up so he don't get beat. I'm going to hit up on the right analog stick. If I did want to press him, it'd be down on the right analog stick, and left and right would shade. But that'd be more so for man coverage, shading left to right. You guys see, it backs him up. Now, I can also individually change the assignment of specific defenders. To do that, you'll hit triangle, triangle, or YY twice. You guys see that's the quick adjustment part of the menu you see right here. Now, once you do that, you'll see the icons of your specific defensive backs pop up. So we got the nickel corner, he's triangle, the 2 safeties, that's L1 and X, the outside corner is square and circle. You specifically will hit the icon of the player you want to adjust. So let's say I want to adjust the outside left corner, okay? Well, hit square, that's his icon. Now you'll see menu pops up where you have the left stick and the right stick in each direction. On each stick is a different assignment. So, for instance, a hard flat would be to the left on the left stick. You guys see I put them in a hard flat. Now, I wouldn't do that out of this coverage, but I'm just showing you guys how to do it. So, an outside third is up on the left stick, down on the left stick's a cloud flat, to the right's a soft squat, etc. Now, on the right stick, we got outside quarter, deep half, blitz, man coverage. If you do the man coverage option, which is up on the right stick, then you would have to actually specify the icon of the receiver you wanted him manned up on. You guys see I hit the icon of the outside left receiver to man him up. Now, those adjustments I just went over, they might seem like a lot, but if you get into practice mode and get this down to muscle memory, like I can do these like in the blink of an eye before I even think about it. It's like bam, bam, bam. You'll get fast once you really, just spend some time working with it. Now, that's basically the defensive backs. What about the linebackers? To access the linebacker menu, you hit to the right on the D-pad. If you want to get better at college football 25 and win more games, check out my college football VIP membership on sportsgamerz.com. Put the link to order in the comments and the description. You will get access to all the content I release for college football all year long, including the best offense in the game, the best defense in the game, my secret A-gap blitzes, my rollout glitch, my run defense, and my pass defense, and much more. Let's dominate together, boys. Once you hit to the right on the D-pad, first you're going to have like some global things you can do for your linebackers, and then you'll have individual as well. Let's start with globally. So you can change their alignment. That would be the shift linebacker function. That's controlled by the left analog stick. If you wanted to spread your linebackers out, you just hit up on the left stick. To pinch them, you hit down on the left stick. You guys see that if you see them spreading and pinching. If you want to shift left, be on the left stick to the left, right, the left stick to the right. You guys can see they pretty much are changing depending upon the way I'm shifting them. Now, if you wanted all of them to blitz, you hit down on the right analog stick after you hit right on the D-pad. That blitzed them all. Now, if you wanted them all in zones, up on the right analog stick. If you wanted to blitz a specific outside linebacker, you would hit to the right on the right stick or the left on the right stick. Okay? So that's pretty much how that works. Now, the quick adjustments is really the main menu you're going to want to look at, I'd say, for the majority of your adjustments. And that's by you'd hit right twice. These will bring up again, similar to the secondary, your individual assignments you can do with each linebacker. So say you wanted to adjust the linebacker on the left, you would hit square. The left of the screen, I should say. You would essentially hit the icon of whatever linebacker you wanted to adjust. After you hit right on the D-pad, you go ahead and hit the icon. So let's do square. You can see we get different adjustments or assignments for linebackers. So like up on the left stick would be a seam flat, down on the left stick a vertical hook, to the left on the left stick is a hard flat, to the right is a curl flat, and then again on the right stick we have some different assignments, spies, blitzes, etc. Say we want to do a hard flat, that's to the left. On the left stick, you guys see it changes them. Again, these part of the adjustments, they might seem like, oh, that's a lot to remember. And it is once you first get into it, but I promise you, spend like some time in practice mode. This is going to become muscle memory, and once you get game experience, you're going to be able to do this really fast. And that's, if you want to become a better player, this is the number one skill I'd recommend mastering. Now, what about your defensive lineman? So this is the last part of it. So for defensive lineman, you're going to access that by hitting left on the D-pad. Once you do that, this is very similar to the linebacker menu. You can change basically you can shift them, which is going to change their alignment, or you can change their rush angles, how they're slanting their rush. Now, what if I wanted to change the rush angles? You guys can see by default, this is how the D-line's rush angles are. You guys see that D-end on the right of the screen has a very slanted to the inside rush angle. Well, when you hit left on the D-pad to bring up the adjustments, you can see if you want to slant them all outside, you hit up on the right stick, inside would be down on the right stick, left and right would be left and right accordingly. Let's do it to the outside here. You guys can see that changed the rush angles a good bit, right? So that's how you do that. Now, the individual adjustments for your D-line are going to be left. You hit left essentially twice, and then it brings up the menu with the icons of your defensive lineman. Say I want to adjust let's do X, the guy on the right of the screen. So his icon, and you can see, again, D-linemen, they have a little bit different adjustments. On the left stick, you have seam flat, vertical hook, hard flat, curl flat. On the right stick, you have spy, blitz, buff, blitz, man coverage. Essentially, you just hit the direction on the corresponding stick, the direction you want for the assignment the corresponding assignment. So let's say I want seam flat, that's up on the left stick, and there you go, he's in a seam flat. So this is essentially all of the quick adjustments. This is going to allow you, as you guys see, I stayed on my linebacker. I wanted to use her the whole time. I can stay on this guy the whole time to do everything. And once I get fast at this, or once you get fast at this, you'll be able to do a lot of adjustments before the ball is even snapped. This is going to take your defense to the next level.